India ITME Society is back once again with the Business Video magazine. And today, Mr. R. Anand has been associated with the textile and textile engineering industry of India from the pre-independence time, transitioned into the modern days of today, having witnessed many historical moments and have contributed tremendously to the growth of this industry. Along with him, we also have Miss Shilpa Anand, a third generation entrepreneur. The unique thing about Shilpa is textile engineering industry is a male dominated industry in India, probably across the globe. And she is one bold woman standing like a beacon, being a motivator for the next generation of fair gender to come into the industry. She is a very active in multiple activities in promoting women entrepreneurship in the textile engineering field. It's a great pleasure for me to welcome both of you today to this session.
Eastern Engineering, a great name in Indian textile industry, has not only brought new machines and new ventures for India, but also brought another relationship in the industry, saying that we as a family standing for the industry. So I'm great to have Shilpa you here along with Mr. Anand. Shilpa, just talking about your industry specific portfolio of Eastern Engineering, what do you think are the real milestones and how you have come into this particular industry, and then what are your futuristic views about the industry?
VJTI was started to help the city meet its technical requirements. It had two departments, one for mechanical engineering and the other for textile, called the Ripon Textile School. Our founder, D. Ramanna, was amongst the earliest to graduate from this textile school when they began operations specifically for engineering. D. Ramanna, along with his associates, co-founded some companies in the manufacturing and trading segments, covering both the textile and the engineering industries. They also represented some European textile machinery manufacturers of those days like Dubed, Josephy, Krantz, Lebausse, and others. But at his heart, D. Ramanna was an entrepreneur, and he founded Eastern Engineering Company because he believed that for people to progress, their entrepreneurial spirit had to be nurtured. And this became evident when we know how the socks and the sweater knitting segments and businesses developed in Mumbai and in Karnataka. As far as the later years were concerned, because he had an untimely demise and the business passed on to his sons, and Mr. Anand in particular took charge of the textile machinery segment. One of the biggest strengths of Mr. Anand, and I say this not just as his daughter but as somebody who has worked alongside him, is his ability to foresee a trend. He was the vice president of the 100% export units in 1985 when the government of India announced the 100% EOU policy. And he realized that if this policy could be rolled out in the textile industry, it would change the fortunes for the industry. He was able to persuade Nav Maharashtra, which is a cooperative spinning mill, to convert their new unit into a 100% EOU. They imported the machines, the spinning machines and other high-tech equipment, and started exporting high quality of yarn. And the results from Maharashtra was so good that other mills took notice, and what struck everybody was the cleanliness that they found in the mill. Mr. Anand realized that this was something that was important because it impacted the productivity, and he was able to persuade the Hesta group, which at that time were owning Lua globally, to set up a joint venture in India. And I can say with great pride that it was perhaps one of the most successful joint ventures in the textile engineering space at that time. And we held, I think, maybe 75-80% of the market share among the exporting mills.
So how it helps for the customer when he opts for Ferrari fans from the feasibility point of view?
See, in a textile mill, there is a very large amount of expense that happens due to energy consumption. And if this is not something that mills can control, then it affects their operational costs and impacts the profitability. Our experience has been, and this always comes via customer feedback, is that with these fans, it was a fit it, forget it a policy. It was a fit it, forget it approach for customers.
Mr. Anand, when it was Lua, I still remember that it was something different.
Exactly.
Something new which came into textile industry.
Yeah.
So what was it all about as far as Lua is concerned? Can you just throw some light on that?
I was on a visit to Italy, and I was taken to a well-known cotton spinning mill. And when I went round with the owner, I was very, very amazed to see the cleanliness of the mill. And jokingly, the owner said, "Oh, the cleanliness is such that you can eat from the floor." And then afterwards I said, "Look, please tell me, how have you achieved this?" And he says, "We have what is called the textile air engineering technology." And that's how he explained to some extent the technology. And he said, if you want to know more about it, you have to contact some expert like Dr. Meyer from the Zurich University, a very famous technologist of his time. That's how it was the first introduction of Lua to me.
Because it is easy to do something in the organized sector, but you have done that with a cooperative sector, and that too in interior Maharashtra. That was remarkably well. It is a really milestone in the history of textile industry.
That's also because we received a tremendous cooperation from companies like Lua. They sent their top technician, stationed him in the mill for several months together till the technology was transferred. And it was also, I would say, a unique case because the plant had an automatic waste collection system.
Yes.
But at the same time, the technology was so important, maintenance was so important. If something happened to the system, the whole mill would stop.
Along with that, you were also representing many other machineries, right from spinning up to even the finishing lines. So what was your experience? How you could communicate to these people who were the leaders, market leaders in the machinery segment, and you could convince them that they should have representation in India? How it has happened? So what was the unique thing about Eastern at that time?
Yeah, what we used to do is invite our new principals to come over to the country, and we were organizing technical seminars all around the country in the textile important centers of the country. And this helped a lot because there was very active participation by the textile technologists of the mills, and we were able to convince them about the performance of these machines.
Exhibitions are heart of the business, because I know that without exhibitions it would not have been possible for you to go abroad and interact with people and take their representation. So according to you, how you have done this first thing, and then how it has helped you in growing your business for Eastern?
First and foremost, we ourselves were going to Europe to see this textile machinery exhibition, and we found that look, a lot of business was taking place in the exhibition, because this gave an opportunity to the buyers to select the machine, see the technologies, and so on. And mind you, the textile industry is a high capital industry, and once you buy the machine it has to last for decades. Therefore, it was very, very important to see the working of the machines, negotiate with the manufacturers, not so much with regard to the pricing and all, which would come later on, but to convince themselves, yeah, this would be the right machines for the right production they had in mind.
When it comes to exhibitions, Mr. Anand, all of us know that you were pioneer in bringing India ITME society on the ground, and you were associated with all the machinery suppliers. You made their, they come on the forefront and exhibit their products. So how is your view about Indian exhibition industry, India ITME society as such, and whether you would like to give some guidance to them?
The first exhibitions were many, many years earlier, and there we gained a lot of experience about what the buyers really want. And thereafter, particularly in the last few years, this exhibition has grown tremendously from what it was, say, 40, 50 years back. And with every exhibition, something new has been introduced. And this has been something absolutely remarkable. Today, in each stall of the exhibitors, in a very comfortable atmosphere of room, there will be the modern technology introduced, where sitting in that room, the machinery manufacturers can show a running mill abroad, and he can ask the mill owner, the technicians, whatever questions he needs to ask. And when we mentioned this to a probable exhibitor a few days ago, he was really amazed. First they started saying it's going to be very expensive to participate, bring all our machinery, dismantle it, and so on. But when I said, no, there's another era altogether. Now we are going to introduce this new technology, and I think I have every reason to feel that this will be an excellent opportunity.
Shilpa, when it comes to Eastern engineering, you have a very large portfolio to handle, right? From spinning, up knitting, even socks knitting, and then even processing machines. How do you handle this entire portfolio? What type of services you people are giving from Eastern? So how do you manage everything, entire business of textile machinery business?
One of the things we have learned from Mr. Anand is to be able to anticipate where the industry is moving and what customers' future requirements should be. It is for this reason we have now consciously focused on the processing segment, as the value addition there is something of great interest to our clients who are the textile mills. We have done a lot of good business for CDB, which is a French company, and it's now a part of Valven of Belgium. And they offer fiber and yarn dyeing machines, bleaching machines, or cake openers, polyclave, sampling machines, the whole range of machinery. And this has been good for us as well as for our customers who have benefited from the technology with the low liquor ratios and other such USP. Apart from this, we also are now very conscious that the government of India is focused on technical textiles, and the recent PLI policy with the new companies who have been selected is something which is of great importance to us in the textile machinery industry. And as a result, we are now focusing on looking at opportunities for Grout. It's a German company in the non-woven space with blowroom and carding lines. The important thing for us is to not spread ourselves too thin, but to focus on a few areas where there is both a demand and as well as an ability from our side to be able to meet those demands.
Shilpa, Mr. Anand has already set the foundation for the India ITME Society. So many exhibitions have happened. You are coming now maybe with new products, new portfolios and something new ideas. So what do you think about India ITME Society should do now in order to make its facial report by which it can come out with something new? So what are the guidelines which you would like to give to India ITME Society?
Every cloud has a silver lining, and while these past 2 years have been very, very challenging for everyone, I must commend India ITME Society for being engaged with all of our stakeholders over these past 2 years. They have held various events, they have been in touch. We have never felt that, there was something and then everything shut down. So this has been very, very good, because we have also learnt quite a bit from the events that they held online. And this makes us feel that there is so much more that can be done, because the management of India ITME Society is incredibly dynamic, and they listen, they pay heed, and at the same time, because they are so well traveled and networked, there's nothing much that we need to add on to what they are already doing. Just a couple of ideas that came to my mind, and I don't know whether it's probably already in the works. One was to have an on-site mediation center, because typically what happens is there tend to be business disputes between companies in India and either their customers or their buyers overseas. Some contracts may need smoothing out. There may be terms that cannot be met for a variety of reasons, and this leads to a lot of unpleasantness, which perhaps a mediation cell in India ITME, it's something that they could consider. And another thing that is becoming increasingly evident is that India must have her own R&D as far as textile machinery, textile engineering is concerned. It is absolutely essential, and perhaps India ITME can facilitate this by having a 24/7 desk or a cell that only works by bringing together universities and companies. They can be small projects, they can be big projects. I remember some years back a customer of ours told us that they had given an assignment to a university in the UK to understand sleep patterns. And it was something which I thought was such a fantastic idea, because they were selling bed linen. And if they understood how people slept or what mattered to the end use customer, they could then incorporate that in the products that they brought out to meet those customer needs. So these are the kind of research projects that a start can be made with, and then later on go into development on various other issues, various other applications, whether it's jute or coir or the natural fibers, the new fibers. There's the sky is the limit when it comes to the human capacity to innovate and think of new things.
Yeah.